Hello, I'm PJ Bishop. Welcome to my channel and the ongoing series with the Oakland Athletics. In this video, we're going to go over the top batting prospects under the age of 25. Starting with third baseman Miles Naylor, currently playing for Low A, California. He's here because of his power. He's got nearly plus power. With a good eye, he's your typical power bat. Will strike out more than you like, but will also hit plenty of home runs and walk and get on base. Currently, he started off at the Arizona Complex where he was absolutely demolishing the pitching. In 13 games, he had nearly 400 average, 5 homers already, and an OPS of 14.26. He did all he could there. There's no point in keeping him around. I mean, he was absolutely outstanding. So currently at Low A, he's definitely holding his own, not as dominant. In 25 games, he's batting around 250. The OPS is still nice at 836. He's got 5 home runs and pace for 8. He's not tearing it up like he was earlier, but for sure he is doing a great job and should be earning a promotion fairly soon once the Arizona Complex wraps up its postseason and I can start moving guys around. But he's one of our better bats. Can't wait to get him up to the majors. Really young though, so still a good way off. Only 19 years old and will just begin his high A play. Currently, we got him projected to be a third baseman, but I think he could be an outfielder as well, right fielder as well, which adds to his profile to be good enough to play third, right, and of course left field if needed. But with his arm strength, I prefer to keep him at third base or right field. But he's a solid-looking bat. Number 2 on the list is center fielder Francisco Valoria, a 17-year-old Dominican, currently playing in the Dominican Summer League. We got him with a trade from the New York Yankees. Again, his tools, he's got 2 really valuable tools. He's got plus power, and his arm strength is plus, which makes him a prototypical right fielder. And that's where we're kind of playing center field because of the lack of talent in the Summer League. Eventually, we'd like to move him to right field where that's more of a natural position for him, and he fits much better. Although he's only 17, in the 25 games, he's looked fairly average. Still no home runs, which is surprising, but that happens at the younger. Sometimes it's hard to find that in-game home run power. But eventually, once he finds himself, again, since he was 17 for most, 17 and 18, so still a young teenager for majority of the season. Look for him to repeat, and hopefully next year is when his breaking out party starts. Next on the list is right fielder Lawrence Butler, 24-year-old at Double A Midland. I think he's a solid player, someone that has good enough tools all across the 3 categories that I like to rate your bat, how you are as a batter, how you are on the base pass, and of course, what kind of value do you provide defensively. He provides value in all 3 categories, so he is someone that should be an everyday starter once he makes it up. But he's, of course, in jeopardy of repeating the Double A, just not quite good enough yet. So hopefully he can perhaps turn it on in the second half of the season and get himself promoted. Because nothing out here is totally outstanding. So he's on pace for 14 homers and 24 stolen bases. You'd like to see a guy like him at the minor league level at least hit 20-20, because he's got the skill set to do that. Next on the list is center fielder Denzel Clark, 24-year-old Canadian at Double A Midland. He is doing extremely well. Overall, he's a really solid hitter. Again, he's someone that I can see as an everyday player, because defensively he's a good enough center fielder, and he's got enough value to slide into any of the outfield positions, and he's currently ranked number 90. And as you can see by his stats, he's doing really well. He's got a respectable 2.62 average. On base percentage is solid. Slugging is slugging. So on base plus slug is 9.29. That's outstanding. On pace for 31. He's already got 18 home runs and 11 stolen bases. On pace for 31.19. So looking really good. Someone I can't wait. I mean, he's really close to being major league ready. Someone that I should get a call up or a promotion to AAA fairly soon, which means he's just one injury or a September call up away from being in the majors this year. Next on the list, we have second baseman Daryl Hernandez, 22-year-old Puerto Rican, currently playing for AA Midland. Again, another solid player. I like what I see about him offensively, defensively solid enough, and of course on the base pass solid enough. So, and he's performing well. He's got above 300. He's batting 310, 400 on base percentage. Slugging not as high, but he's not a power guy. But still, overall, an 8.62 OPS. Really, really solid numbers. Looks like he's already had some. Is he? His salary is 740. Is he on the 40-man roster? I don't remember adding him to the 40-man roster. Transaction. So he's not. Interesting. So he must have. Really interesting. So he's making 740, but he's not on the 40-man roster. And he's never played in the majors. I'm a little confused by that. Because I didn't call him up this year. Interesting. Kind of confusing how he's making 740. Why is this? It's got to be an error of some sort. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He's here. He's not, playing well for us. What's he got? Just really solid numbers overall. Someone that I project to hit at the top of the order with his high bat-to-ball skills and his avoid contact rate. Next on the list is second baseman Max Muncy, currently at High Lansing, 21-year-old. Struggling. He's one of those utility guys, but I think in the future he can still fill in as an everyday bat. Currently struggling at High. He was at Low A, California, where he was demolishing the hitters, as you can see here. A 333 average, nearly 500 on base percentage, OPS, or slugging 633. So completely having his way with the Low A pitching, but been a different story down in High A, below average as far as performance, and even bad enough for a negative WAR. It's safe to say he will be repeating High A come next season. Next on the list is center fielder Henry Bolte, 20-year-old, currently a Low A Stockton. He's here because of his power. He's got really good power, nearly plus power. Not going to hit for average, and you can see he's not. He's got good enough defense to. But yeah, he's been struggling to do much. He's not doing bad enough to where I want to demote him to the complex league. Because I feel like if I demote him to the complex league, he'll just be. Yeah, he's not going to be challenged at all, so there's no point. But he's here. Yeah, he's an average player here, but he's performing well below average. So I'm not quite sure what's going on, what his issue is, because he is someone with the power that he has, and he's got good enough avoid Ks he can definitely be a cleanup hitter for me and play left field or right field. And in a pinch, can still play center field. So he's someone that does have value. He's able to steal bases too. He is still on pace to hit 20 home runs and 20 stolen bases. He's on pace for a 21-23 season. He's just, it seems like it's either home run or nothing, because that 162 average just looks terrible. But he's young, only 20 years old. Next on the list is first baseman Cooper Bowman, 24-year-old at Double A Midland. He's here because of this part. He can steal. He's really fast, aggressive, and steals bases. If anything, he is a super utility role player, although he is struggling currently at Double A. He's got a 639 OPS, barely batting 200. So quite the struggles that are going on here. Although at least he's stealing bases at a high clip, currently on pace for 34. Only got caught twice in 22 attempts, so at least he's got that going for him. But need to see a little more than just this. Just because you're good at base running doesn't mean you're going to have enough value to see yourself in the majors. And you're getting up there in age. Once you hit that 25 mark, I stop looking at you as heavily. And I start looking at younger guys who are just as good as you. Up next on the list is right fielder Brian Buelvas, 22-year-old Colombian, currently at Low A, Stockton. And he's good. He's good. I think offensively his bat is not as good as you would like. He's got good gap power, but the power itself is not quite there yet. And his contact really isn't high enough for him to hit for a high average, although he is holding his own at Low A. Currently hitting .276 with an 890 OPS. On base percentage of 400, so he's doing that. But he's very good on the base pass. And defensively, he's playing right now, but he's destined to play left field. His issue is with his power not being his main calling card. It's difficult to put him in at left field. Usually corner positions, you want somebody with some power. Be a little bit of a threat for home runs. He's not there. He's solid here, but this is Low A. He should earn himself a promotion. He was at High A where he struggled, so I sent him down. I sent him down where he's done much better at Low A, so he's gonna see himself back up at High A, and hopefully this time he'll be better luck for him. Next on the list is left fielder Javier Sanoja, 21 Venezuelan, currently playing for High A Lansing. What do we like about him? We like his bat-to-ball skills. We got him with a trade from Miami just this year. His bat-to-ball skills are fantastic. And his avoid Ks is elite level. Looks like a max super utility player as well. That's probably what's going to get him on the field. He might hit one day for us, top of the order, because of his hitting skills, especially if he can, and he's getting on base pretty well at 410 clip. But again, this is just High A, but he's playing well. Now, is he playing well for me, or was he playing well for them? He played in Double A Pensacola, but struggled there, so I think I left him playing at High A for me, where he's really good. I mean, small sample size, but in 8 games for me, he's batting 400 with a 1,000 OPS, so definitely having much better luck with me. But he should be on pace for a promotion Double A fairly soon. Next is 22-year-old catcher Tyler Stolstrom, currently playing for Double A Midland. He's one of those catchers where he's not that great defensively, so he's going to have to hit, and he's going to have to hit well. What he's got going for him is he's got nearly plus power. Although it is showing up down here at Double A, unfortunately, he's just not, even though he's hitting for home runs, nearly 32, he's on pace for 32, already has 19. His issue is he's not providing any other value anywhere else. He can't steal the bases. He's not a very good base runner. He's not a very good defender. He's not a good leader. And he's only hitting .228. So he's one of those guys where if this is what he does, the best he can probably do is a backup catcher. But also, he does have the power to be a first baseman, so he may move to first. As you can see, he's an above-average defender there. So look for him to potentially switch over to first base as he moves up the levels. I might have him sit again at Double A, as I like to get him hitting a little better before I move him up, because he's just going to end up being a strikeout machine. As you can see, he's already at 102 strikeouts. And just moving up another level is just going to make him strike out more. Next on the list is 22-year-old shortstop Jacob Wilson, currently at High A Lansing, our highest rated prospect at number 56. He is definitely a top of the order hitter with that bat to ball skills. He's got plus rating bat to ball. The avoid Ks is nearly elite. Not a power guy, but just below average, so still decent enough. Can steal bases, and he's a good enough defender to earn himself. Even though it doesn't show up here, I think he could be an everyday starter. He's currently playing really well. I think soon enough he'll be moving up to Double A. As you can see here, he's having a really great year. 12 homers, 13 stolen bases, on pace for 2020. So he's doing everything that's asked of him. And he's playing well across all three levels. Defensively, base running, and he can hit. So he's doing exactly what he needs to do to get promoted, and I think he's going to earn himself a promotion fairly soon as the complex season comes to an end. So definitely before July, you'll see him up in Double A. Next on the list is 22-year-old shortstop Irabel Angelis, currently playing for Double A Midland. A really good player when it comes to the bat to ball skills. No power whatsoever. And terrible eye, so he's not going to walk. It looks like he's going to have a high average, and that's what he's doing. Currently hitting for 308. Not a high on base percentage because he's either going to get a hit or he's not. That's kind of what it is. He's not going to walk. So he's going to put the ball into play and put pressure on the defense to actually play defense. Because he's got decent enough speed and still an ability to apply pressure once he's on base. And defensively, he's pretty solid. I would imagine his long-term home is going to be second base, but it looks like he's played some first base here at Double A, but the power is just not. He's not someone that you're going to stick at first. He's playing really well. He played at High where he was on fire. He's been at Double A. Actually, he started off at Low A. So he's already jumped up to Double A. I don't know if I'm going to move him to Triple A because that's just a lot of movement in one season. From Low A to Triple A is quite a jump. I think he's going to have to probably keep him at Double A just for at least probably for another year. He's only 22, so there's no rush to get him up. And considering that he doesn't have any power, he's not going to really provide too much for me that I probably don't already have. So I think it's best just to keep him at Double A. Let him maybe get lucky and get some more power. We'll see. Up next is 18-year-old center fielder Asiel Arias. He's currently playing for my Arizona complex. And he's here because of his on-base ability, and he's a solid defender. Was at Low A where he completely struggled, and sent him down to the complex where he's still struggling. That was Low A with the Yankees. We got him with a trade from the Yankees earlier this year. I sent him down to the complex where he's struggling. Now he's 18 all season. So that could have been the reason. But he's got good enough skills here. I don't know if he'll ever develop offensively enough to get to utilize his base running skills and his solid defense. He may be somebody that just eventually flames out due to the fact that his offense is just not going to be good enough. Because what's going to happen with guys like these, you're going to get someone else that's going to have similar stats here, but just better here, and eventually just pushes him out. Next on the list is 20-year-old left fielder Angel Arevalo, currently playing for the complex. He's a Venezuelan. Again, similar to the last guy, Asiel. Seattle. He's got the really good on-base skills, solid defender all across the board. So he's one of those super utility guys, but he's offensively, he's just not that good. Although, yeah, he's just not that good offensively. That's always going to be his struggle. So chances are he's going to repeat the complex. And with the new draft class coming in, it's going to be very difficult. And the new draft class plus promoting from the Dominican Summer League, it's going to be difficult for him to, A, keep a starting spot, and B, possibly even make it on next year's team. He's just one of those, even though he's a top prospect, he's just one of those borderline guys that without any batting skills, which is important, you got to score runs. He just doesn't provide enough value. And lastly, second baseman, 23-year-old second baseman Casey Yamauchi, currently playing for Arizona Complex. Similar to the last two guys, the offense isn't his calling card, it's his on-base ability. Decent defender, nothing outstanding, nothing that's going to make you go, ooh, gotta get this guy. But at least he's had better luck as far as offense is concerned. In the regular season, he ended up hitting .343, a .400 on-base percentage, slugging percentage in the fives, and .938 OPS. So he did well. He's currently holding up solid in the postseason. This was his last postseason stats. So he's earned himself a promotion to low A, but he's going to have a hard time, I think, moving on up from there. He's just not that good offensively. And he's already 23 years old, so the fact that he's going to be 24 as he enters low A full season ball kind of tells you that he's behind on development. And there's a chance that he may not make it past low A. Well, that's it. I mean, other than Miles Naylor, and really, I mean, there's lots of exciting guys that just don't look like it here. But I think it's a solid looking bats. I think Oakland has a future. It might be a while from now. As you can see, none of these guys are at the AAA level. So it's a pretty far off before any of them are probably making any considerable contribution to the parent club. But we'll keep holding on, developing, and hopefully eventually we'll start turning things around. So that's it for this video. The next video, we're going to go over my exciting draft class, which I'm extremely happy about.